Well, this is embarrassing.
It's 2016, only 2 days left to go.
No.
It's 2017, just one more day.
Thank you, my love. So yeah, it was going to be 2016, but it's 2017 with 1 day to go, because it is 1 day to go, and it appears that I may have started on the wrong day, or rather started a day of miscalculated when I should have started anyway. I'm going to leave that aside and going to continue with starting with a little bit of 26 and a little bit of 2017, and we'll see how it goes. So a few things I discovered about 2016. The last video recorder was made that year, made by a Japanese company called Funai. So no more video recorders anywhere in the world now. Also in 2016, Brexit happened, and despite the protestations of a lot of people who didn't want to leave, it's happening, if rather haphazardly. Also 2016, President Trump won the election for the American president. That made a lot of people very unhappy. Or more accurately, it made a few very loud people very unhappy. So amongst the films from 2016 that I saw included Colossal, which was a film that I didn't actually see it in 2016. I saw it on an airplane flying to Uganda. Probably more about that later. The film, though, Colossal, enjoyable little movie. I liked it quite a lot. I liked the idea behind it. Another film that I saw after the fact, I didn't have to see it until this year actually, was Your Name, filmed by Makoto Shinkai. What can I tell you about this film without spoiling it? Teenage boy living in Tokyo wakes up in the body of a teenage girl living in a few hours away by train, the Shinkansen, and with hilarious results. Yeah, so but there's quite a nice twist to the end, so that adds some sci-fi to what would be just a rom-com essentially. But yeah, enjoyable film. Yeah, if you get a chance to watch it, do so. If you have a Blu-ray player and you live near me, you can borrow this if you like. Also, a film that I came out in 2016 and that I did see in 2016 was Deadpool. What can I say about this movie? It was hilarious. Just, you know, a bit gore and bloody, but very funny and very enjoyable. Lastly, but not least, probably my favourite film of the year, and a film that I thoroughly enjoyed, you know, Rogue One. What can I say about the film? I really enjoyed the film, partly because it was very much like the original Star Wars, in that, so much so that a few scenes in this film were actually outtakes, or rather takes that weren't used from the original film back in 1977. I bought that film, I actually saw the film on the first day that it was showing in Leeds here, it was a Friday. I went to Leeds in December, second Friday, December, third Friday, and bought my ticket to see this movie, because I didn't realise until like a month before it was due to be released that it was actually a proper bona fide Lucasfilm Disney production. I thought it was a rather well-funded fan movie from what I'd seen and heard on the internet, which was very little actually, because I tend to avoid trailers and stuff for movies, especially for films that I think I'd like to see. And so when this came out, I thought, oh, that's a bit of a surprise. I didn't realise. Yeah, it wasn't until I saw a special on Sky One, I think it was, when they're talking to the director and some of the stars and so on, sort of thing they do to preview the films, that I realised that it's a proper studio film and not a fan-made film. So I went into Leeds on the Friday, bought my ticket to see the film, then went and had something to eat, bought my news, and while I was out there I also bought my new iPhone, the iPhone SE, which is the one I've still got now, going strong. and saw the movie, and I can't tell you how much I really enjoyed this film. Well, I probably can, but let's have a go. I was sitting in the cinema watching this film, and halfway through it, I said to myself, in fact, I nearly spoke it out loud. I said this is a really good movie. So to me, this is a really good movie. So I saw it again a second time, I think. Bought the Blu-ray. I might even buy the DVD, but no. I'll leave it out. I'll leave it to the Blu-ray. So there you go. 3 films I saw in 4 films from 2016 that I enjoyed a lot. Some of which I actually bought. So who passed away in 2016? The list of made for 2016 is sadly rather long, and these are just the famous people that I recognised on the list that I looked at. So let's get through it quickly. Terry Wogan passed away that year. George Martin, often credited as the 5th Beatle, he did the production mostly. Nancy Reagan, wife of the late Ronald Reagan. Ronnie Corbett, one half of the 2 Ronnies. Christina Grimmie is probably the youngest person on this list. I think she was 19, 20, if that. She was murdered by a fan at a fan meetup that was organised for her by her. I can't remember the exact circumstances, but yeah, that was that day. I first heard of Christina Grimmie on YouTube when I heard a song that she was singing with somebody else. What was the boy's name? He was playing most of the instrumentation, and he was singing the chorus, and he was singing the verses. A song by Usher, and she was singing the chorus. And the way they did it was a lot better than, in my view, than the song Usher did. If Usher had a girl or a more high pitched voice, female voice doing the chorus, then it would have made a pretty decent song. But yeah, these two did a great version of that tune. Yeah, Caroline Aherne, the comedian, comic actress, writer. Big surprise that she passed. Because she was a lot younger than I am. In the late 30s. Yeah. Kenny Baker also passed away that year. He's the little guy who was in R2-D2 in Star Wars. So yeah. Leonard Cohen, the poet, musician. Andrew Sachs, best known to me at least for his role in Fawlty Towers. Ron Glass, he played Shepherd Book in Firefly, the TV series, and the movie Serenity. Rick Parfitt, guitarist and singer for Status Quo. George Michael passed away that year. Zsa Zsa Gabor, Fidel Castro, Gene Wilder, the comic actor. John Glenn, first American in space. Somebody wrote a song about him, which went something like Johnny Glenn, flying through the air like nobody can. Johnny Glenn. Another chorus, another verse. Yeah, because the Russians were doing it a bit more efficiently at the time, but Americans caught up. Anton Yelchin, probably the second youngest person on this list. He was the young actor who played the role of Chekhov in the new Star Trek films. Muhammad Ali. Alan Rickman, probably best known recently for his role in the Harry Potter movies. David Bowie. Sad to see him go, yeah. I didn't realise he was tall ill, but sadly he's gone. And of course, Carrie Fisher. So that was 2016. Let's have a quick look at the short list I've made for 2017, because you want to keep it short, don't want to be too sad. Of those that passed away in 2017, included Jerry Lewis, the American comedy actor. John Hurt, he played the lead role in the 1984 film I've mentioned a few times before. He was also the war doctor in Doctor Who. Bill Paxton, surprised me that he passed. I think I'd forgotten about him, but sad to hear. Mary Tyler Moore, Hugh Hefner, passed away that year. Chuck Berry also passed away that year. Tom Petty, Tom Petty Heartbreakers, rock star. Roger Moore, everybody's favourite James Bond. He was in my favourite Bond film, so yeah. Malcolm Young, Now, I hadn't heard about this one. Malcolm Young, he was the guitarist, backing vocalist in AC/DC, one of the founding members of AC/DC as well, with his brother Angus Young. Angus Young is the one with the who often dresses up as the schoolboy playing the guitar at the front. Yeah, so Malcolm Young, his brother, he's the one who passed away. Adam West, again, everybody's favourite Batman, I like to think. Chester Bennington, Brian Aldiss, the writer who wrote, science fiction writer, he wrote the short story Super Toys Last All Summer Long, which was turned into a Hollywood blockbuster movie called AI by Steven Spielberg's AI. I think I met Brian Aldiss once or twice. When I went to the right conventions. I also met the man who wrote the screenplay, the script for AI. I didn't actually know he was a writer or anything like that. I was just talking to this fellow at a little sci-fi convention, NovaCon, and had a conversation, and I don't know if he told me or somebody else mentioned it, prompted it out of him, but he wrote the script for AI. In fact, his name is the third name that you see at the end credits, because the first name you see is Steven Spielberg, then it appears a film by Steven Spielberg, produced by Steven Spielberg, written by this fellow's name. So yeah, that was an interesting one. And lastly but not least, David Cassidy also passed away that year. Heartthrob and all-round pop star. So a quick look at the few things that interested me in 2017. The Trump era begins. Trump was inaugurated president, and they then followed a few marches against him, protests. You can say what you like about him, but he seems to be doing a fairly good job. That's just my opinion, by the way. Yours may differ. Brexit continues, rather haphazardly, I must say. In other things, there was a snap general election here in Britain. It was going to be pretty much of a walkover, which is, I think, why Theresa May went for this election. All she had to do was, all she really had to do was to say, we're having this general election, we're going to get Brexit done properly, vote for us and we'll get it sorted. But no, she and the cabinet decided they're going to bring in some extra things in the manifesto for this new election, including bringing back fox hunting, I think. Were they trying to deliberately lose the election? They just scraped through. Labour gained for the first time in a general election since 1997. That's how poorly the Conservatives did this year. Anyway, enough of politics. A massive solar eclipse was visible across most of America, a big wide strip going all the way from the Northwest America all the way down to Florida. All the flyover states, There's quite a lot about that on the YouTube channels that I watch. I watch a few science people, and I travelled out specially to watch this event. I wish I could have gone there too, actually. The Cassini-Huygens probe ended its 13-year mission to Saturn that year. I think the original mission was set to be a lot shorter than that, but the machine didn't break down and they just kept on going, doing more and more science until it eventually ran out of fuel, which is why they had to end the mission, as it were. And so they ended the mission by sending the probe into the atmosphere of Saturn, where it burnt up probably rather gracefully. I would quite like the idea of putting it into a stable orbit around Saturn and just leaving it there as a moon to be discovered by humans or someone else, a few millennia ahead, but hey, that's just my thoughts. And in 2017, my lovely parents had their 50th anniversary.
Can we just congratulate Pat and Lindy that being married 50 years today?
And so after we'd celebrated my parents' 50th anniversary, their golden wedding. They go to this club every weekend, every Saturday night, and they just dance the night away. Yeah, they've been dancing ever since they first met. That's how they met, dancing at pubs and clubs in, what is it, Preston or somewhere in Lancashire. After that, at the end of December, indeed on Christmas Day, 2017, my parents, my sister and I went to Uganda for a couple of weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. My sister and I were there for 2 weeks. Mum and Dad were there for 3 weeks, and we went primarily for my cousin's wedding, which was good fun, and had a lot of good fun while we were there throughout the trip. My sister decided that she was going to take us all on a safari up to the national park, which we did, and that was great fun as well. And also that year, in anticipation of this trip, I decided I'm going to buy a new camera, and I bought the Panasonic Lumix G9, which I've since replaced with the camera I've got now, the G9. But of course, the G9 was a lovely, lovely camera. In fact, I do miss it. It's much smaller, much lighter. It does everything my new camera does, this nice, big, lovely thing, but in a much smaller, lighter, more compact body. So, then what does it say about me? I like small pieces of technology. Anyway, that's beside the point. If you're interested in seeing my videos I did about Uganda, there's still a few more to make, because I'll put a link to the playlist that I've got so far. And I'm going to be adding more videos to that after I've done this, because I'm lazy and I never got around to finishing them. But yeah, there'll be more to come. But before I go, I'd like to give big thanks to Kiala Carr, who contributed for the beginning of this video.
Happy birthday! I hope that's what you wanted.
Thank you very much, Kiala. And yeah, I shall see you all tomorrow. Well, I might see you all tomorrow. Hopefully I won't be too drunk to make a video. But yeah, take care everybody, and have fun.